This episode of Southeast Iowa Today is brought to you by Griner Auto Body of Washington, Iowa, using state-of-the-art techniques and decades of experience to get your car back on the road after an accident. Car Doctor of Washington, Iowa. No matter who Frankensteined it, they can fix it, clean it, and customize it. McDonald Boneyard of Keota, Iowa, for all your farm equipment and auto recycling needs. For great food, it's your choice. Your Choice Family Restaurant of Wayland, Iowa. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Come to our cruise-ins this summer on the second Tuesday of the month, June through September. Girling Repair of Winfield, Iowa. If your mower is dead, call Fred, your Husqvarna, Aaron's, and Gravely dealer. Fred also fixes and sells snowblowers. B&B Propane and the family of Jet Stops. Dutch Market and Coffee Talk of Washington, Iowa. Dutch Market can handle all of your grocery needs. They even have a conference room you can use for free. Coffee Talk's drive-thru is open and ready to serve you coffee, energy drinks, sandwiches, baked goods, and ice cream. They all present you the award-winning Southeast Iowa Today. Here's the author of Christie's Journey, The Beat Goes On, and your host, John Bain.
The Mount Pleasant Community School District Board of Education had a special session tonight here at the high school. It's Monday, April 28th. They started promptly at 6 p.m. and went over the survey that they had sent out that a lot of you participated, over 1,000 of you participated in, regarding the consolidation of the elementary schools into one area over at the former Wesleyan College Campus. And 70% to 30% of the folks that responded were not happy with the proposed bond referendum and the plans on that. So the board's going to have to regroup and come up with new ideas, but obviously the $35 to $40 million bond referendum that they were talking about is probably put aside for now. So watch that. I have to thank my announcer, Cody Roy, for his wonderful introduction and golden pipes, and he's from newenglanddukes.com. Let's get right to it now.
All right, I have 6 p.m. We're going to call this meeting to order. Jessica, roll call. Blend. Here. Mullen.
Here.
Williamson.
Here.
Hampton.
Here.
Maher. Husinga.
Here.
Any changes to the agenda?
No changes to the agenda.
Motion to approve agenda?
So moved.
I'll second. Roll call. Blend. Yes. Mullen.
Yes.
Williamson.
Yes.
Hampton.
Yes.
Husinga. Yes. All right. First up in our work session items, we have the master plan, facility master plan survey update, and we have Jerry here, Gallagher with the Donavan group.
Yep, let's flip that on the bottom there,
Test 1, 2. Everybody hear me okay? Good. Well, thank you for having me here tonight to present results of the community-wide survey that were held recently. First of all, just a little bit about the Donavan Group. We are a full-service communications firm that focuses exclusively on public schools, and we are grateful for the partnership that we have with the Mount Pleasant Community School District. Survey process and methodology. This survey that we conducted, the survey window was open from April 7th to April 20th. 2-week period is very typical for a survey like this. And the purpose was to evaluate the district's needs, consider possible solutions, and contribute feedback to guide next steps. So, relative to process and methodology, what I'm going to do tonight is I will run through a number of the questions and results from the questions, but I won't go through everything for the purpose of time. There were 40 questions in this survey. The entire survey report, which will include results of every question, that includes demographics all the way down to question 40, will be available to the public on the district's website social media platforms. It will be shared with the local media. So that entire link to the report that you can read will be available in short order. But what I will do is go through some of the high-level points and themes from the survey. First of all, when we evaluate a survey, we look at different levels of responses from groups, various groups that have responded that we categorize. First of all, you have the all respondents group, and that means everyone who took the survey. More than 1,000, in fact, 1,021 people completed the survey. And for a community the size of Mount Pleasant, about 8,500, that is a very good saturation point. So feel good that people had an opportunity here to share their opinions about the district's needs and the potential solutions to meet those needs. So that's the all respondents group. The comparison group represents community members who are not current parents of preschool or school-age students or employees. And in that group, there were more than 502 respondents, or about 49% of the survey pool. There is also an affiliated group, and the affiliated group are parents of preschool or school-age children or employees. Next, we have what we call a weighted group, and that is typically a predictor or indicative of how we, as a survey research firm, believe that a potential referendum vote could go. And so what we do is we collect and review comparison group and affiliated group, and with the numbers, the results from a particular question, we weight 70% to the non-affiliated community members, the comparison group, with a 30% weight to the affiliated group. Part of the reason that we do that is in large part, a large percentage of every community similar to Mount Pleasant is not directly tied to the school district. And so that's why you see that weighted number. So next to particular questions. Oh, before we get to that, John, you can move forward here. Sorry about that. One more thing about survey process and methodology. The following data points that we will review, they're not based on a scientific sample. We use a convenience sample, so it's inappropriate to conduct regression analysis or attempt to calculate error. What that means is that this is not necessarily a scientific study. This is more done as you might consider a large focus group of people that you put into a room and ask them questions. That's what this type of survey represents. So, demographic questions were 1 through 6, so we move into question 7. And that question was, how familiar are you with the school district's facility challenges and the process the board is using to find solutions? 3 different potential responses here. I am very familiar, I am somewhat familiar, and I am not familiar at all. And if you combine the very familiar and the somewhat familiar, the percentage there is 92%. So reading into that, most people are familiar to some degree with the facility challenges that the school district faces. Then we move ahead to question 8. With that in mind, with 92% of people who filled out the survey indicating that they have a familiarity, do you believe the district's facility needs must be addressed now? Strongly agree, agree, disagree, or strongly disagree? And if you combine the agree and the strongly agree, the weighted group, which is the number that we primarily look at, it's not we look at all of them, but that weighted group is about 58%, 57.6% of those who participated believe that the school district's needs should be addressed right now. Moving on and grouping these questions, survey questions 9 through 16, and this was really an opportunity for respondents to get a look at potential solutions to those needs, and then grade those. And with each of those potential options, there was a dollar figure or cost attached to them. And on a scale of 1 to 5, where 1 is a low priority, 5 is a high priority, everyone was asked to indicate the importance of the following elements, and this group of options all related to Van Allen, potential upgrades to Van Allen. And if you look at the weighted scores, which are right here, at the very end of each option, there is just one of these that is over a score of 3. So most of these fell between 2 and 3, and so the highest is safety renovation at Van Allen, adding a secure entry, while the lowest, 2 parking lots, the north parking lot and playgrounds at the elementary. Those are the 2 lowest of those grouped together. Moving ahead to survey questions 17 through 25. Everyone was again asked to rate a certain group of potential options for upgrades, and these were the potential Central Campus, formerly Iowa Wesleyan projects. And pointing again to your weighted scores, and remember, 1 to 5, with 1 being a low priority, 5 being a high priority. You see how these all scored, with the highest being a 2.39, and that was the student union mechanical and electrical upgrades. So now that everybody in this survey process has had a chance to grade or rate their feelings about those potential options, we then ask, given that information, how likely are you to support a bond referendum in November to address those projects? I would definitely support it, I would probably support it, I would probably not support it, and I would definitely not support it. And then this weighted number, which we believe is a good indicator of what November would look like, 30% if you combine definitely or probably supporting a potential November referendum. Survey question 27, you indicated you would not support it. You would not support that referendum in November, so please select the reasons why. And at the top of the list, the top 2, the tax impact of the proposal is or may be too great, and the cost is or may be too high. Otherwise, the district has not communicated its needs effectively, and regardless of the cost and dollar amount, I will not support a bond referendum. So all 4 of those. And then we had an additional open-ended part of that with 170 comments that were made in other, with the overall themes of, and there were 4 themes that really stuck out: a desire to maintain and upgrade existing schools, concerns about the Iowa Wesleyan University purchase and the Central Campus plan, concerns over fiscal responsibility, and a lack of trust in leadership. Question 36. I believe that Harlan, Lincoln, and Salem elementary schools should be closed once enough classroom space is available at Van Allen and Central Campus. Strongly agree, agree, disagree, strongly disagree. Weighted here of strongly agree and agree, 31.5%. Question 37. You disagreed with closing Harlan, Lincoln, and Salem. Please select the reasons why. Over 2/3 of those who responded to the survey, or 68%, do not believe that all pre-kindergarten through 5th graders should be consolidated into 2 attendance centers. 67% do not believe Salem should be closed. 60% do not believe Harlan should be closed, and 59% do not believe that Lincoln should be closed. Another open-ended opportunity to leave comments. About 50 were made in this section with the overall themes of preference for neighborhood schools, concerns about financial decisions, priorities, and dissatisfaction with decision-making and lack of community engagement. A couple more questions here to review. Thanks for doing this, John. I appreciate that. Survey question 38. I believe that all elementary students in the school district, pre-kindergarten through 5th, should be included in the grade-alike buildings located in Mount Pleasant once the classroom space is available, regardless of the outcome of any school bond referendum. And about 46% of all respondents strongly agreed that all elementary students should be included in the grade-alike buildings located in Mount Pleasant once classroom space is available, regardless of the outcome of any bond referendum. Question 39. You disagreed with including all elementary students in grade-alike buildings. Please select the reasons why. About 83% of all respondents believe in neighborhood schools not grade-alike. 58.5% believe Salem should remain independent from the other grade-alike elementary schools. About 35 comments were made in the other section with the overall themes of a preference for neighborhood schools and then skepticism about the grade-alike model. And we will wrap up here. This is the last question and just a wide open opportunity here. Please use the space to provide additional information to the board as it considers solutions to address the district's facility needs. And we had 4 main themes that came out of this question. Lack of community engagement. Many respondents frustrated with the school board and administration for making major decisions like the IWU purchase, grade-alike transition without more community input or a public vote. Dissatisfaction with the grade-alike model. Significant number of comments opposed the shift to grade-alike, believing it was implemented without sufficient input and negatively impacts the students and families. Opposition to the IWU campus purchase. Strong skepticism regarding the purchase, with respondents questioning the necessity, cost, and transparency, and believing that existing schools should be maintained or upgraded instead. And then finally, financial responsibility. Respondents expressed concerns about spending, the proposed tax increases, and the overall financial burden on taxpayers. So again, that's not the entire survey. That's more of an overhead view of everything, thematic look at it, but the entire report with responses to every question will be available shortly. So, questions from the board?
First of all, I understand we had some postcards that did not get out to a number of our residents. So I was wondering, do you have any input? What happened there? Some of them, I understand, just was delivered this past Saturday.
Yeah, that's in the hands of the post office. I mean, we work with the company, and we've done this for many years to be able to provide the post office with the printed postcards, which is a cost reduction effort. And then it's up to the post office to be able to take that next step. And I can't guarantee that everything is going to be delivered at a certain time, and there are going to be some hits and misses with that. But part of the reason, because we've encountered this previously, we look at the postcard as a supplemental resource. It's one of a series of different opportunities that have been communicated widely through the media, through the school district website, social media channels, word of mouth. And anyone who has internet access in their home, or someone that they know that has internet access, has the ability to take the survey. So it was unfortunate. It does happen. But we do believe the numbers bear out, with over 1,000 people completing the survey, that is a very good representation of the community. Other questions?
Yeah, so Jerry, along those same lines, with the postcards not getting out to everybody, what does that say about the total survey response? I mean, is there a threshold that we would have met with the survey response where it wasn't going to swing one way or another very much?
Yes, I mean, again, we've been doing this for a number of years. I would say a community the size of Mount Pleasant, your tipping point is about 500 completed surveys. And then once you get above that, we have really received input from the greatest cross-section of the community that you're not going to see much change with what people are saying. That you've been able to get to enough people that is that large focus group with the diversity represented by the entire community, that you're going to be able to hear what you heard here, which is representative of Mount Pleasant.
Any other questions for Jared? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Jared,
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Any other thoughts or comments? We've only started to dig into it. Obviously, we are going to need to revisit the timeline and what really our next steps are. So this is a work session, not intending to make any decisions, but to start thinking about what are we going to do next. Obviously, we got a lot of good input and can direct us with the next steps, but obviously I think our timeline needs to change and those steps probably need to change. So we'll need to continue to discuss that and figure out what the next steps are. So. Next up, we have our April 30th special election candidate forum. Obviously, with the open seat coming open, those conversations on next steps can include that new board member as that person gets elected. So, John, you want to share?
Yeah, just a reminder that on Wednesday, the candidate forum, it's sponsored by KILJ and the Chamber Alliance. The event will be here, the forum will be here in the Media Center starting at 6 o'clock. Rachel Lindeen, Vice President of the Alliance, the Chamber Alliance, will moderate the forum. The event is open to the public. I know it's going to be live streamed on KILJ.com, and you'll be able to listen to the broadcast on 105.5. So that's the forum. The election itself is on Tuesday, May 13th. There is both early voting and absentee voting available. I don't have those details. You can contact the county auditor, but the auditor let us know that those options would be available. The auditor also let us know that the polling place will be Manning Hall, adjacent to St. Alphonsus Catholic Church, and there would be just one polling place. And again, that is a decision that's made by the auditor. That is not made by the school district. So, questions on that?
All right, a couple items in new business while we're all together. So first we have consideration to approve the 25-26 employee compensation package.
Okay. So, I'll get this pulled up here. Okay, so as you guys know, we have settled with, and you guys have approved the packages for the Mount Pleasant Education Association, our teachers group, and the AFSCME group, which would include our paraeducators, our custodians in buildings and grounds. So this is generally everyone else, all other employees in the district, so that you're aware, the percentages over here, the percentage increases are a total package increase. So it would represent not only a wage increase, but also insurance increase, benefit increases, if there was any IBRS increase, that would all be included in the total package. So the first group, secretaries, that is our building secretaries. It's not our 12-month secretaries, those are our building secretaries. that total package increase is 5.61. And again, what we have discussed as a board and talked about, where do we, how do we compare regionally with our different groups? And so we definitely took that into consideration as we consider that increase to our secretary group, which is 5.61. That will put our secretaries, our building secretaries, someone starting brand new at just over $15 an hour, $15.31, I think is the hourly wage. The transportation, now this is our bus drivers, just our bus drivers, and they're wage only because of their part-time status. They are wage only, so there is no. That is their package, is the wage, so that was a 3% increase. Our managers, buildings and grounds, technology, transportation director, that was a 3.88 total package increase. Administrators would include building administrators, it would include the superintendent, it would include the director of finance. That total package was 3.19. And then central office is the 12-month secretarial group in central office and central receiving as well. So, and that one's at 3.53. So all non-union and admin, that total TPI, total package increase of 3.63%, wages and benefits. Now, down to food service, again, that increase, that 14.04 would represent both an hourly increase and it would represent the insurance allocation increase that we gave as well. And I'll just repeat it, the same thing as with the secretaries and in our other groups. We looked at how do we compare regionally with these other groups, and you guys have known over the years we've been behind, we've been trying to catch up, and so the cooks there at 14.04, that would represent an increase on the hourly wage that would a starting wage, if you're just coming in, no experience, a starting wage of $14 an hour in food service, and then the food service manager. So the total of 12.06 with those averaged. So unless you have questions, I would recommend that you approve the employee compensation packages.
Any questions?
The health of the food service manager, I think that's paid.
That is because last year the allocation was more than it is this year because the district switched packages. It was going to be the district insurance package.
Any other questions? If none, motion to approve in the 25-26 employee compensation package.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Blend,
Yes.
Mullen,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Hampton,
Yes.
Maher,
Yes.
Husinga.
Yes.
Next, we have consideration to approve personnel items.
Okay, and the personnel that you have, and normally we would do this at our regular meeting. Springtime, as you guys know, there's a lot of transition and changes in personnel, so we thought we would take the opportunity since we were together and we were doing new business to go ahead and approve personnel. So unless you have, I should pull it up there, sorry about that. Unless you have questions, I would recommend that you approve the personnel list.
Motion to approve personnel.
So moved.
Second.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Blend,
Yes.
Mullen,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Hampton,
Yes.
Maher,
Yes.
Husinga.
Yes.
And the last item on our new business is the consideration to approve the 25-26 snack milk price.
And so the final thing here is that this is afternoon milk. We've talked about this a little in our committee meetings. The afternoon milk program has always been preschool through second grade. We had a lot of good conversation with the principals. The principals talked to their teachers, and the recommendation, well, first of all, we're currently charging for afternoon milk. It's 40 cents for a half pint of 1% white milk. And I did reach out to our milk supplier, which is Anderson Erickson, and currently the district costs, what we're paying right now for milk, it can vary, you know, through the year as a commodity. It can go up and down. Our current cost for that same 1% half pint of white milk is 34.5 cents. And so the recommendation, based on the conversation with the principals and their conversation with their teachers, is to offer afternoon milk in grades preschool and kindergarten only. And just based on that pricing, I would recommend that it stays the same, 40 cents for that half pint.
Questions on snack milk? Motion to approve the 25-26 snack milk price.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Blend,
Yes.
Mullen,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Hampton,
Yes.
Maher,
Yes.
Husinga. Yes.
All right, so just a recap of the rest of the week. School board candidate forum on Wednesday, committee meetings on Thursday and Friday as we hit May 1st. So with that, I will adjourn the meeting at 6:29. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for watching this episode, and make sure to give it a like and make sure to follow and subscribe. It's free. It's good to see our government in action and our citizens participating. It's great to see that here in Southeast Iowa. So once again, thanks to everybody that comes on the podcast. Thanks to the folks that allow me to record these meetings. And thank you for watching. And I got to thank my sponsors, Griner Auto Body, Car Doctor, McDonald Boneyard, Your Choice Family Restaurant, Girling Repair, B&B Propane, and the family of Jet Stops, Dutch Market, and Coffee Talk. I'm your host, John Bain. Stay friendly, Southeast Iowa.